Hey guys, Monday, September 2nd, already. Happy Labor Day. This is how I make with the leftover tomatoes from the garden. I should have done this when they were plump and red and ready to rock, but this is a tomato sauce that I've made for years. Tomatoes don't have to be clean. Well, let me rephrase that. They are washed, but they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be completely red. And this makes an awesome tomato sauce. So some of these are a little funky, and I cut off that funk and I throw it in there, and that's for the chickens. Chickens love tomatoes. I don't skin them, I don't parboil them, I don't core them, I don't take off the stems, and I'm telling you true. And if you don't trust this, use just a couple of tomatoes, make a really small batch, and see what you think. And I've used, you name a tomato, I've used it. Early Girls, the Bush, the Blood Reds, cherry tomatoes, the ones that you're supposed to use for sauce. And this just comes out awesome. Anything funky I do cut off, any bug holes, I don't discard that tomato. I just clean it up with a knife. And like I said, the chickens get it, and they absolutely, it's a prized food for the chickens. And I cut them into small chunks like this so I can see what the insides look like. And also because they're going to go into my Ninja blender and they're going to get pureed. Honestly, I don't have a set recipe, pounds of tomatoes per pounds of, or not pounds, but per ounces of seasonings and things like that. So yeah, I mean, this is super simple, and I'm gonna bet that someone in the old days did it just like this. See, that's actually a nice looking tomato. So there's not going to be any cleaning on this. Put these into a clean receptacle just so they can hang out while I'm cutting up the other ones. And then we're going to puree this batch, put them in the pot, and we're going to continue with this process until we've got them all done. So my weapon of choice to puree the tomatoes is this Ninja, what's it called, the Master Prep. Had this a long time, so I'm not sure they make it anymore. But anything that will puree your produce is going to work. Like I said, I've done this a million times, so I've got a pretty good idea of what fits in here. Alright, headphone alert, may get loud. Quite honestly, because you're using all the seeds and skin and all the parts of the tomato, I believe it's a much healthier recipe than coring them and blanching them and peeling the skin off. And yeah, we're going to cook them in the pressure cooker, but if you're not using any vegetables, onions, mushrooms, or meat in it at not sea level, but 1,000 feet above sea level, you're going to do 30 minutes at 10 pounds. And what I like to do is let this blender sit for a minute or two so all the bigger pieces sink to the bottom so that they get pureed as well as the rest of it. And you may want to call this a redneck, off-grid, ancient style spaghetti sauce, but I'm telling you, this stuff comes out incredibly well. And if you let it simmer long enough, it comes out very thick and extremely delicious. And that's more than enough for this, and you can see this is the Ninja. Hopefully you can see. So we're going to pour this into our stainless steel pot, and then we're going to continue to cut up these tomatoes and replicate this same portion of the video, and then I'll show you what we do next, so hang tight. So there's everything cut up, blended up, and thrown in the stainless steel pot, and it's on the stove. So what I add next is olive oil. And like I said, I have no set teaspoon, tablespoon, cups, whatever. I just know how I've done it, and I kind of have a knack for it. Some regular iodized salt. Some lemon juice. And yeah, I know half of y'all probably puking right now, but I'm here to tell you, this is phenomenal. Garlic, and I love garlic. If you've seen any of my other cooking videos, garlic is like a staple food. Ice cream, cookies, black pepper, and you can season this to your taste. If you're doing this, it's your food, so you want it the way you want it. And Italian seasoning. They probably all differ a bit, and it may seem like a lot, but it really isn't. And here is the secret weapon. This takes, if the tomatoes aren't quite ripe, it takes the bitter off, and it's just plain old white cane sugar. And again, that may seem like a lot, but probably had 5 pounds of tomatoes, so I'm going to wind up after this cooks down with maybe 2 quarts, just a little bit more. So this is a very small batch compared to what I normally make. And then we're going to stir this up. And I've got it on the stove on a medium-low heat because I don't want to burn it. If you burn the bottom, it screws the taste up big time. And right now the color looks putrid, I know. It's like this brownish red pink color. But once it cooks an hour or 2 at this temperature, it's going to be turning red. And the first time I made this, I couldn't believe it myself, but it really, really turns out well. So, we're going to let this cook for a few hours. We'll be back. It'll be a second for you, but it's going to be a long time for me. And we'll be back and we'll show you the progress. So, hang tight. I should have mentioned that for the first couple hours, I do not cover it. For the remainder of the cook down, I will put a glass lid on this, covering it about 3/4 of the way, because I want the steam to escape so that this, cooks down and gets thicker. So, be right back. Bye. Alright guys, so it's been about an hour since I turned the heat on this pot of what's going to be spaghetti sauce. And you can see it's already starting to turn red. And I've got to say that I believe that's because of the lycopene that's in, tomatoes, and it's the same stuff that's in carrots and so forth that gives them the reddish, orangish color. But this is even going to get more red as it cooks. So, yeah, we'll be back. Hang tight, guys. Alright, guys, so here is basically the final product. It's nice and thick. And it's ready to can. So basically you just can it and put it in your pressure cooker, finish it up. And the reason for the salt and the lemon juice was to increase its acidity to make it shelf stable for at least a year. I've got this stuff that's over a year old that I continue to eat. Still here, no issues. And this really, really is some good, thick, healthy spaghetti sauce. So guys, enjoy your day. As I said before, today is Monday, September 2nd, 2024. I swear the snow's going to be flying soon. So this is going to be a welcome addition to any meal in January. All right, guys, enjoy your night, and we'll talk soon. Take care.